This is Idiots with Opinions. Idiots may vary. Welcome back, idiots of the world. Get ready for the most intense 30 minutes of your life. I'm Todd Schlegelmelk, and with me as always is my co-host, Tuscan Fairfield. We are about to tell you the news of today, but in a little a fun twist of it, because it's not just any news, it's the real news that you need to hear. It's the most important stuff that you need to hear on your daily commute, on your morning, right before you go to bed. I don't know. I don't care what you're doing to listen to this, but it's these are the important stories. Isn't that right, Tuscan?
Yeah, that's right, Todd. And I didn't know you were going to be using last names on this. I didn't know you were going to be blasting out my real name to the public. Way to run that by me first.
I thought we've done that before. I can cut it out.
We probably have. No, it's fine. It's fine. I truly do not care. I'm trying to get on blast. I'm trying to go ahead and follow my personal Instagram. It's public, so you can look at all the pictures before you even follow me.
Not even a minute in, and he's plugging his Instagram.
Right. That's right. At Tusk Fairfield. Dude, I got to tell you about this. So, speaking of my own Instagram, the most recent picture I posted was one of us jumping into Holmes Lake last weekend.
Yeah, and you're in short shorts.
Yeah, I was in short shorts. It was super fun. There's one guy there whose name is John, and he took his shorts and he was wearing normal jeans, and me and one other guy were the only ones in short shorts, and I was like, come on guys, I thought we were all doing short shorts. He's like, all right man, screw it. And he pulls out his pocket knife and cuts his jeans off while wearing them and just rolls it up. He's like, all right, I'm ready. And so it was a freaking harrowing experience though. I mean, have you ever done a polar plunge?
Well, I've done a plunge in an icy lake with you before, if you remember that.
Yeah, unintentionally.
Yeah, that was fun and dangerous and fun.
Yeah, nearly died there. Wasn't really expecting that.
Well, we didn't think we were gonna die. We didn't think we were in danger. We were having.
It's amazing. It's amazing how close we came to death that day, and then we're just like, yeah, whatever.
Honestly, it's amazing the two of us are alive right now, not just from that experience, but literally the experience that we have together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a wild time when you're with Todd and Tuscan.
That's right. Yeah. I was gonna say some of those climbing up the shaft on the side of the school, that probably would have seriously maimed or killed one of us if we'd fallen from that. Right.
On the school. What?
You remember the drainage pipe?
Oh yeah,
the hard
that
way?
One's dangerous. That one's definitely. Oh, we would have died if we would have failed at that, for sure.
Yeah,
it's 3 stories up, or more.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were to fall, let's think about this. If you were to fall and not hit the little outcropping of the delivery bay and just hit the grass, because if you landed on the concrete, it would almost definitely kill you.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you hit your head first. But if you landed pretty well on the grassy area, I think you'd probably be fine.
Well, you'd break things still. I'm
sure, yeah. I mean, you definitely wouldn't be okay.
You should wait until it's really snowy out and then try jumping off the top of buildings.
And right now I think would be perfect. And man, dude,
this moment, all the idiots listening, this moment is this is the season for jumping off of buildings. If you want to jump off a building, now is your time. Do it now.
It's the time of the season. Yeah, but no, so this past week, I don't know if you've been following weather in Nebraska, but we had a huge snowstorm on Saturday night, and the Lincoln Public Works system that goes out the night before there's supposed to be a huge storm and, rallies to plow the roads and make sure they're drivable the next day, has done absolutely nothing. And so this entire week, all the roads have been awful. And I've been in a lot of snowstorms in Nebraska, and the day of, the day after, they're still going around and plowing things, but most of the time the roads are treated. It doesn't get too icy. It's mostly just slushy. But it's been so cold here that I'm sure they've been making an effort, but there's been absolutely no real work done on making sure the roads are drivable. So they're still just atrocious.
That's a government thing, right?
Yeah, that's a municipal government thing. At least in Lincoln it is.
That's good.
It's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Again, another Idiots with Opinions episode where we are talking about the weather. But, as we said before, it's always a wild time with Tuscan and Todd. Before we get into the real wacky stuff, real wacky news of the day, I just want to say I'm sorry for all of our listeners from my audio file currently. So I have a story to tell.
Okay.
So you may be hearing some noises in the background of my audio, my recording here.
I can definily hear it on my end.
Yeah, so it's gonna be in the podcast. So I want to explain what that is. So last Saturday night, I came home after a long day, and apparently my roommate was using the bathroom midday, and it didn't work. It overflowed, and so he turned the water off. But he didn't turn it off all the way. And then he took a 6-hour nap or something. I don't know exactly how long the nap was, but it must have been long. And when I arrived back home, the bathroom that I use, that he had used, that he hadn't turned off all the water, had completely flooded. We had about at least a half an inch of water covering our bathroom floor. And so I live on the 7th floor of my apartment complex. And, well, it's not like an apartment complex. It's like a dorm. And I know everybody who lives below me, except for on the 2nd floor. So I know from the 3rd floor to the 6th floor, I know who those people are. And we are actually in a group message. And so I was getting messages earlier on saying, why is water coming through my wall right now? And it went all the way down at least to the 3rd floor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So currently we have wonderful maintenance workers giving us back our carpet that they took out earlier this week. So that's the kind of...
well, at least they're on it quick.
Yeah, they are. They're doing a good job.
I remember that's the best part about living in an apartment complex is that you can screw something up, you can break something, and sometimes they'll charge you for it. But if you've got like I had a broken washing machine, right? And it wasn't my fault, and it was leaking water everywhere every time I ran it.
Yeah.
And so I called my landlord, and I said, hey, I got this problem, all that stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll send out the maintenance guy to take a look at it. Maintenance guy comes out while I'm not at home, takes a look at my dishwasher, realizes that, this thing's from the 80s. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, they don't sell the part to fix this anymore. It's definitely leaking water. And he's like, all right, well, and so they sent me a message about that. We'll have that replaced here in the next couple days. I come back home a couple days later, not really thinking about it. I've got a brand new washing machine just installed at no cost to me. Perfectly good, working fine. It was awesome.
I think we might have mentioned Adam Ruins Everything on this podcast, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Adam Ruins Everything is, what was it? It was like a College Humor sketch or something?
Yeah, but now it's a show on, IFC, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Adam Ruins Everything would take, popular misconceptions.
Misconceptions?
Yeah. Popular misconceptions, and he would explain why they're wrong. And one of the things that he did for the show was talking about how a lot of people are not buying houses anymore with mortgages because of the way of the benefits of an apartment. And I know that there's credit.
So many benefits.
Yeah, but there are a lot of benefits to having an apartment that you don't realize, then yeah. So who knows?
That's
Who
definitely
knows
one
if
of
we're
them.
going to be all living in houses in the future? We're all just going to have an overpopulation of people. We're all going to be living in apartments, and people are just going to be owning everything that we own.
I have absolutely, within the next decade at the very least, I have absolutely no desire to own property, like real property. I really don't. I'm just like, I'm happy renting, you know? Rental rates are pretty nice. I don't have to pay property tax. Appliances are usually provided and replaced upon request. You know, it's just it's a fantastic way to live, and you know, moving in and out kind of difficult. Sometimes you have these neighbors that are kind of inconsiderate. I currently don't. I might be the actual inconsiderate roommate or neighbor, because there are plenty of occasions in which I have people over to my apartment and music is played and parties are had late into the night because
Those darn kids.
I'm 21 years old and in college. And yeah, so I have no segue here, Todd. I have no way to get around town on two wheels, standing straight up. But I do have a beautiful story coming out of the state of California. Now, if you think weird stuff goes on in Florida, we haven't even begun to cover
California
what goes
Man?
on.
Is it California Man?
California Man is not featured in this story. Although
California Woman?
usually when you see California Man or Woman, they exist as LA Man or San Francisco Man,
Yes.
or San Diego Woman or whatever that is. So no, we're talking about California legislature, which I think is a far stranger place than most of the residents of California themselves. Now, there's a California lawmaker who wants to make sure that no meat is going to waste. And the way he is, or she, or they, I'm not sure, it's California, are going to solve this problem is by introducing a bill into the California legislature that would allow motorists to take and consume roadkill legally. Now, I don't know, there isn't a citation in here about whether that was illegal in the first place.
Yeah, isn't it illegal to take roadkill?
Why would it be illegal? Why would that be illegal?
I don't know. Well, then it's like an incentive to kill things on the road and then take them for yourself, get free meat out of it.
Well, yeah, but
I think you have
if
to
it's
tell.
been hit by a car.
Again, I will express that I have no idea what I'm talking about, and I would love for someone who does know what they're talking about to give their 2 cents on this. But I'm pretty sure how they have to track.
It does say here it is not illegal to accidentally strike and kill an animal because, of course, with a motor vehicle.
Yeah.
But it is against fish and game regulations to salvage that animal. I don't know what it is, probably an incentive thing. I don't really know what's behind that.
Yeah, because they want to make sure that the numbers of the population are staying, steady. I assume that's what it is. Because, like how they have certain limits to how many animals you kill when you're hunting. Mm-hmm. To balance out the population.
Except on deer, where it's like 24/7 open season, because they are they are overpopulating the earth.
Yeah.
But the bill would apply to any deer, elk, antelope, or wild pig that is accidentally killed as a result of a vehicle collision on a roadway within California. I don't know. This seems like a common sense law to me. As much as I would make fun of the state of California on a usual basis, this seems like, why not? The animal's dead. If you are the type of person who's going to pick it up, take it home, and
why not
eat
use it and use it as best as you can? Yeah.
But to be honest with you, if you're already the person who's inclined to pick up an animal off the side of the road that you've struck with your vehicle, take it home and consume it, You're probably not waiting around for the state government to tell you it's okay.
That's very true.
I don't know. As much as I think it's common sense, the animal's dead, why not just go for it? It probably won't make a difference in how many people actually end up doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Unless they have like some sort of statewide incentive where it's like, hey, take your own roadkill, document it, and we'll pay you. No, that's actually a bad idea.
We'll pay you. Didn't they used to in the state of Florida, maybe? They used to sell, or they used to pay you if you caught a rattlesnake? If you killed a rattlesnake?
I have no idea, but that sounds right. That sounds normal.
Yeah. Because them rattlesnakes dangerous. Them rattlesnakes scary.
You'll be fine.
Killer animals. You know what else is a
Rub
killer
some salt
animal?
in it. Who dat?
Dogs.
Sometimes.
So, remember...
You mean killer like they're super cool?
Yeah, they are
That's
killer.
a killer animal.
They are killer. But they also have a killing instinct. And So remember how you covered that story a long time ago about how a dog shot his owner accidentally in the leg? Mm-hmm. So this is similar to that.
Most dangerous
but it's
game.
Not the same thing. So this isn't the same story, but in October... in October,
if I can interject
yes.
for just a moment, I love this Shane Dawson-esque intro you're going with. It's like, everything's super dramatic.
We should do a docu-series on this dog. It wouldn't be that long, though. Docu-series?
4 minutes.
Man, wild time. Anyway, so last October, there was this man named Sonny, or as his friends call him, Tex, got shot by his dog while rabbit hunting in the desert of West Las Cruces.
Mm-hmm. Las Cruces.
So the dog, Charlie is the name of the dog, just a few weeks later, the dog, Charlie, was shot by a rancher. And this dog died. So it's just, I don't know if it's some sad karma or something, but the owner is fine, but the dog, no.
What kind of round did he use? What kind of gun?
It was
the dog all about?
I just know that it's a shotgun. I don't know.
Oh, okay. You don't know if it's like a 12 gauge, if you got like a buckshot in there.
But I think it was the dog ran away from from Texas place, and the rancher, it was on his property.
That's fleeing the scene. That's like another crime.
Yeah,
that's another count.
So yeah, I mean, you can feel bad about this dog, but it did shoot someone.
Yeah, it was a murderous dog.
It is a murderous
probably would have. I mean, what
killer?
You said this is Las Cruces,
Texas. Yes.
Texas? Yeah, they still got the death penalty in Texas, so that dog would have
gotten killed anyway.
Yeah. I'm just expediting the legal process at that point. But that's too bad. I always feel bad for the dogs that, they don't know about guns.
But this guy, Tex, has a very interesting life too. I was kind of looking into it. He said that he didn't die when he got shot by this dog, of course, but he did die of a heart attack in Arizona. He died in a parking lot, and then they revived him at the hospital and put 2 heart stents in.
Okay.
It's just wild. Amazing that people die and can come back to life through modern medicine.
Mm-hmm. You ever hear about those people who they do this with frogs from time to time now? They'll freeze somebody solid, and you hear about these people that get trapped in ice and they're frozen solid. Their heart is stopped. They've got no blood flow in their entire body. And they come back to a hospital, and they're warmed up, and they live. Have you heard about these people?
Well, the only thing I know about freezing people and having them survive is Walt Disney being kept by Disney.
I remember going back to the whole Shane Dawson thing.
Yeah.
Did you see the whole thing about the reason Disney made the movie Frozen?
No.
It's like a whole conspiracy theory that Disney, the corporation, and the family are adamant that Walt Disney was not frozen.
Oh, yeah. I think you might have said something about this, how they wanted it to be off of the search engines,
Yeah. And so basically, if 10 years ago you searched the words Disney frozen, you'd get all these, like, articles and conspiracies about, like, Walt Disney's frozen. He's, like, all this stuff. And then he's, like, waiting for a cure for death. And then when they made literally the biggest animated movie of all time, Disney's Frozen, if you Google Disney Frozen, you no longer get Walt Disney frozen in ice.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I love that.
Disney is evil, but a genius.
An evil genius, I would say. Let's
Yes.
talk about another evil genius.
Okay.
We are brought to an anonymous man and woman, and we're going to keep them anonymous because I contend. Well, I'm gonna see what you think about this. I'm gonna kind of test the waters. I don't really know how to feel about this story.
Okay.
So there's a man who was
I've heard of those.
embarrassed about the size of his member. Right.
Okay.
He had what doctors call a micropenis, and he was in a relationship with a woman. And throughout the relationship, he would refuse sex because he did not believe in sex before marriage, or so he told her. And they finally got married. They went on their honeymoon together, and she finds out about his condition, right?
Yeah.
His manhood, and she's reasonably upset. As I can't really blame her. She goes to here's where it gets rough. She goes to Reddit about it, and she goes and, like, posts anonymously on Reddit. And the post ends up going kind of viral, and then it gets back to him, and he finds out about this, right? So the guy is now threatening to sue her for defamation by telling everybody. And when you know these two people, it's kind of clear. Like, it got back to him because a friend of his saw it on Reddit and was like, and knew about, what this guy had going on, and was like, hey, I think this is your new wife that was just posting about you on Reddit. And so he gets all upset about it. He's threatening to leave her, threatening to sue her, all this stuff. And so, yeah, it's just this really, I don't know, it's this bad situation. And I feel bad for both parties, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, it is. This is an interesting conflict. I would say that it's stupid of him to, like, try and sue her because of she was posting anonymously anyway. If you say she was posting anonymously, and if she wrote it in a way that no one would know who it is except his closest friends.
Well, and to be fair, I'm pretty sure the legal definition for defamation, it requires,
you have to use their name.
Well, not only that, but it also requires that what you're saying is untrue. And so if he brings this, if he brings this lawsuit before a judge, the judge is going to be like, all right, well, do you have a micropenis? He'll be like, yeah. It's like, all right, that's not defamation then. She's just exercising free speech, and you're not happy about the private information she's sharing about you, right?
Either way.
And it's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you.
I feel like he should have told her something about it before marriage.
Yeah. I totally agree.
That's
and,
something.
I can understand his being embarrassed about it.
Wedding night confessions seem like a bad ordeal.
Yeah.
If you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you should. I feel like you should be pretty upfront about everything in your life by the time you get married. Like, before your wedding, you should be like, all right, this is everything about me that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. And like these are the things, and I don't know. I mean, that's got to be an uncomfortable conversation to have.
Of course.
And I can understand you're being embarrassed about it, but taking it all the way there and then like doing that, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of a crappy thing for him to do as well. That's one of the reasons I believe in sex before marriage, because if the first time you're doing any of that is after you've made a lifelong commitment to another person, you don't know if you're going to be compatible. And to be perfectly frank, and even scientifically, it's a big part of people's relationships. Like, you know, unless you're an asexual person, it's a huge part of human relationships is being able to you know, connect on that level. In my opinion, I mean, it's not the end all be all, but it's a huge part of it for a lot of people. And you know, if you don't really, if you're not compatible in that way, that can really be can be a sore spot for a lot of people. That can really make or break certain things.
So this is just my opinion, but I do think that there is a emotional consequence between you know, if you once you have sex with somebody, like, that does have like definite emotional and hormonal effects. And so if you do that, there could definitely be mental effects on like long-term relationships.
And I'd agree with that. I think you should. Here's my personal belief.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with you here.
No, and I get that. I think I'm a big believer in there being an actual connection before you do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be anonymous and cheap, because not only does it, I mean, you know, it means a lot to me doing something like that, and I know it means a lot to a lot of other people. So I don't want to be, you know, the kind of person who does that and then just forgets about somebody and moves on to the next one, and you know, is burning through things like that. I it's not a part of the way I operate. I just don't. I don't know. I don't do relationships that way.
Yeah. Well, as you said, love and sex really go hand in hand. Whether you're a human or a cow. And in my next story, there is a new app that is helping cows find their true love, or moo love, if you will.
Oh, stop.
You didn't like that one? You didn't like that one? So there is a, in Britain, there is a Tinder for cows that somebody's just released.
Saw something about that.
It is called Tutter.
Yep.
Tutter. And, you know, it helps these animals or farmers basically find suitable soulmates for their cows so that they can have, you know, continue to have livestock on their farms. And I actually downloaded Tutter and started swiping away. It is only in Britain.
Jesus Christ.
The cows, I don't know, it seems, the article made it seem like it was this brand new thing, and the app was just super groundbreaking. I'm a little disappointed in Tutter, because you don't even have to like put your own
you don't have to put up your own cow?
And if you match with somebody, or
how do you match if you're not putting up your own cow?
You will match every time you swipe right.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
that's the thing Tinder's missing, to be honest with you.
But then it will take you to a website called, let me see, sellmylivestock.co.uk, which is just the website that it's running off of. It's not like Tutter is any different from this website. It's like, then why not just have the website? I guess it's just an easier user interface.
You can definitely gamify it. You can it drives traffic to your website, and the fact that it's Tinder for cows is such a great business model. It would get all the beef farmers and ranchers in the UK like talking about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if nothing else, it's good buzz.
Yeah,
because people talk about
definitely. And they say that there's there does seem to be quite the market, like as you said, for breeding livestock online, and not having to ship them, too far away. They can find people closer to them that are more suitable for their livestock. And right now it's only for cows, but they say that sheep breeding is similarly data driven. And so they want to possibly start a ewe harmony.
Oh, God. All right. Well,
all about these puns today. Tuscan's not a fan.
I'm curious does it say like I am a cow seeking a steer, or I'm a steer seeking steer?
It says it just has like the male female symbols. You stop it.
Sorry, I just thought of as I was saying steer, I thought that it sounded like the word queer, and I was like, we're here, we're steer, and get used to it, just like a group of cows. That's the best that's a great like Chick-fil-A ad, in my opinion. We're here.
That'd definitely
steer,
be controversial.
Eat more chicken.
It just gives you the symbols, male and female, and then it's just like seeking. Who are you seeking? Then you swipe left or swipe right.
I see.
Yeah, and it tells you when they're available to travel to help mate these cows.
How do you? First of all, how do you transport a cow? Is it just like in one of those horse carriages?
Like, yeah, I assume. I don't know.
Because I know I see a lot of.
I know.
Living in Nebraska, I grew up with a lot of those cattle transports. Yeah. Well, and the cattle transports. With giant things there.
I saw a post on social media a couple weeks ago where it was just like a minivan. Mm-hmm. And you could see, it was a picture from the back. Somebody had captured a minivan with at least 3 sheep in the back seat.
Okay.
Just kind of looking out the window.
Okay.
People are driving these sheep with just their minivans.
Oh. Well, Todd, it's looking like we're getting close to out of time, so I want to talk about another man who transports sheep to and fro almost every day on his daily commute, and that man, his name is Carl Westberg.
That's right.
Yep. Carl Westberg is a prominent sheep herder, also the sponsor of this show. Very, very glad to have him with us in our hearts, minds, souls, and closets every single day of the week. So if you want to find out who Carl Westberg is, we won't tell you, but you can ask if you email us at studiosvolatile@gmail.com. Or if you look at our pictures, I don't know if they're going to do anything in the pictures, to be honest with you, but check them out anyway. They're on Instagram at Idiotic Opinions. And on Twitter, we are Opinions That Suck, SUK, coming out with those dank memes. Right? We're posting memes.
That's right.
Let's get the interns on that. More memes. That's what sells. Memes sell.
So special thanks to Carl Westberg. He's a Wooly good partner. Oh. And, he's not bad.
I'm done. Done with this podcast. Done with you.
We want to thank the listener. We want to thank the listeners. Thank you for continuing to stay with us through Tuscan's anger and my puns. We'll catch you next week when Tuscan eats a bunch of rice pudding in a jumpsuit.
Oh no.
You've been listening to Idiots with Opinions.